They did it again. Man, San Diego Comic Con is happening right now, guys. And we just had the Marvel Wolverine panel. We had Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls there as well. So yeah, we're just gonna jump into it and break down this new story trailer we got from it and talk about other news from the panel for Marvel's Wolverine and Marvel Souls, Tokon Souls Fighting. So yeah, we're just gonna. I'm so gassed right now, as you can tell. But yeah, let's do this. Okay, guys, let's jump into this Marvel's Wolverine story trailer that we just got from San Diego Comic Con. So let's break it down and give you my thoughts. So we get this shot of Jean Grey and Logan together, which is pretty cool. I quite like this, and as you can see, it says at the bottom this is obviously captured on PS5 Pro, so it's a mix between gameplay and game cinematics. So this is cool that this trailer's been captured footage from the actual game. Because last week, I think it was, we got that CGI trailer, which was pretty cool. I did quite like that CGI trailer, but yeah, it's cool that we got this story trailer. And I really like Logan's suit here. It's really cool. Even Jean Grey's suit, she's got like that classic green attire, like what she had back in the day with like her original costume, which is pretty cool. I really like that. But obviously it's been like sort of like modernized sort of look to it. But yeah, it does seem like Logan here is like losing control, or maybe someone's controlling him perhaps, as he's going after Jean. And we do see there's some sort of relationship between him and Jean. So, and we do get this shot here of Jean like using her powers on Logan. We do see his eyes briefly turn yellow, like Goldie, and then they go back to normal as well. Once she's done touching him on the face here, basically using her powers, which is pretty cool. So I do wonder if he's in like a feral, like sort of berserker mode, basically, or there's something to do with like he's lost his memories and that, because I think that's the whole point. He's lost his memories basically in this game, is the whole premise of this story. But yeah, that's how we start off. We see Logan breaking into some sort of cell, and then we see this prisoner here that he's freeing. So at the moment I'm not sure, when I first saw this, who this could be. But it has been reported online because there's a tie-in comic as well for this game, like a prequel comic. So apparently this prisoner is going to be Nathaniel Essex, which, if you guys know, that's Mr. Sinister in the comics. So maybe they're going to be setting up Mr. Sinister as maybe like the true threat of this game. Maybe they'll go sort of like a Dr. Octavius sort of route with what they did with the first Spider-Man game. So yeah, because I imagine that, because we've seen that apparently Trask is probably the main villain of this, as we do see these Trask soldiers here after he's come out of that cell shooting Logan, and we see the Trask logo on the cell as well. But this shot here, I'm not sure what this shot is. It's like a doorway to like some sort of, I don't know, like a dimension or something. Or maybe this is in Logan's head. But yeah, I'm not sure what this could be here, to be honest. I'm quite puzzled by this shot. But yeah, we get some Trask vehicles and soldiers. We get our first look. We did see him in the gameplay showcase actually. We get to see Leech here with the Warlock underground mutants being treated badly by these Reavers. So it does seem like the Reavers are another faction in this game that are going to be working with Trask Industries, I reckon, handing mutants over to Trask so he can experiment on them. But this shot here, we see Logan in his like Team X attire, which is pretty cool, because I think from what we heard from Comic-Con, there is no X-Men yet. They haven't been established yet, but we got our members of Team X in this game, which is going to be Wolverine, Sabretooth and Mystique, which is pretty cool. And with this tie-in comment that's come in as well, apparently the leader of the group is Nathaniel Essex, which obviously we talked about a minute ago, potentially him becoming Mr. Sinister in this game, or like maybe a future X-Men game if Insomniac are going to be making that because of this leak that happened ages ago. But yeah, we see Logan here in his Team X attire, walking through like a pile of bodies, basically, like a room filled with water and a pile of blood and bodies. Yeah. Now this bloke here, if I just go back, this could be potentially our first look at Trask, I think. I'm not sure if this is actually him, but this could be our first look at what Trask looks like in this game. So that could be interesting. I'm curious to see how he's going to be portrayed in this game. But yeah, we see this lab being attacked. We see Jean and Wolverine working together, protecting mutants. Get to see Logan in like his just shirt attire with Jean. Now this shot, we see Logan and Sabretooth together, but interestingly, it looks like they're dealing with Trask's forces. But interestingly, it looks like we're in New York, because if you can see on the right hand side, there's a building in the background that says Fisk. So Fisk Tower. So I'm guessing that this game is potentially taking place like during the first Marvel Spider-Man game or before the first Marvel Spider-Man game, because obviously Fisk Tower, when we've played Marvel Spider-Man 2, is now becoming the new Baxter building for the Fantastic Four. So this is really cool. So it does seem like we will be going to New York. I know a lot of people have been asking, are we going to get a crossover between Spider-Man in this game? Because obviously Insomniac and the developers have said that this is on the same Earth, this game as Spider-Man games. So because obviously they're both developed by Insomniac, so it does seem like Insomniac are building their own Marvel universe, and we got the hints of that with obviously like other characters in like the Spider-Man games, like with Avengers Tower and the Sanctum Sanctorum and that. But yeah, this is really cool that we get to see the larger world of the Marvel universe in this game. So it's just cool that they're acknowledging this, seeing that the Fisk Tower. Are we gonna get a cameo from Kingpin? I don't know about that. It might just be an Easter egg, to be fair. But with Spider-Man, will we get a cameo? I don't know. I wouldn't hold to it, to be honest. I still think this is going to be a game solely focused on Logan, to be honest. But yeah, I might be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we get our cool shot of Mystique in Team X as well. Now this is really cool. We get a new look for Sabretooth in another outfit. So from what I've heard from the developers, it does seem like with Mystique and Sabretooth, and Jean Grey as well, they're going to be like sort of like companion characters that are with you in the game that will obviously fight alongside you, which is pretty cool. So kind of similar to how like we had Miles, we had obviously Harry as Agent Venom, and Rafe Yuri in Spider-Man 2 is like these companion characters that can fight alongside us when we're fighting crimes around the city. So I think it's going to be the same situation here with Sabretooth, Mystique and Jean Grey. But yeah, with Sabretooth here, he's pretty cool. He's not in his Team X outfit in this shot. He's in like that classic sort of costume look that we all know from the comics, which is pretty cool. But I do think we will have a fight with Sabretooth in this game at some point, because I think they're just going to be like rivals trying to like outshine each other basically. But yeah, it's cool that we've got Sabretooth in this. And we've got another shot here proving my point that maybe we will have a fight with him. But yeah, we get our first look here at a prototype Sentinel. Potentially this is going to be one of the boss fights in the game. I can't wait to fight the Sentinel. That is something I am looking forward to. And it's going to be cool to see. But as you can see, he's only got one arm on this Sentinel at the moment with his arm cannon or whatever. The other arm is still missing, so this is still being developed at the moment. But yeah, we see Logan in his Team X outfit again, and this bloke here. Now a lot of people have been saying that this is obviously going to be Nathaniel Essex, which it could be. I have seen somebody else asking, is this Bruce Banner? Because I know a lot of people want like maybe a side mission or something where like we get a boss fight with the Hulk potentially. I would love for that to happen, but I don't think this character on the right, I don't think he is Bruce Banner, to be honest. I do think this is Nathaniel Essex. And from what I've seen from the tie-in comic as well, the Nathaniel Essex in the comic does look pretty similar to this bloke here. So I do think this is Nathaniel Essex. But interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure that looks like Troy Baker. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that looks like Troy Baker. I might be wrong, but imagine if Troy Baker is Mr. Sinister or Nathaniel Essex. That'd be pretty cool. It does look like him. But yeah, we get another shot here, potentially in Alaska it looks like, with Logan and Leech here, which is pretty cool. But this is going to be fun. You see Logan on the motorbike. Now, I'm curious to see if we can control the motorbike. That is something I do want to potentially have in this game, is Logan with his motorbike, because I love Logan when he's got his bike. And he is being chased here. It looks like we're in Japan now, because he is being chased by the Hand, it looks like. He's got a cool leather jacket. We get to see him taking on the Hand. And then we get our first look at Lady Deathstrike in game, which is pretty cool, I can't lie. She looks well cool. And she's obviously one of the members of the Hand as well in this. Is she going to be the leader of the Hand? I don't know, because obviously the Hand's had many leaders and that in the comics, so... Because normally she's a part of the Reavers that I know of, but I think she has been part of the Hand as well in the comics too. But yeah, this is pretty cool to see Lady Deathstrike. And then we get our look at Ogun as well, fighting Logan here, and we do see Lady Deathstrike and Jean in the back, so potentially maybe all three of them are fighting Ogun here. I don't really know much about Ogun. He's the one Wolverine villain that I don't really know much about. I think he was Logan's mentor from what I've seen. But yeah, this is a character I don't really know much about, so I'm looking forward to learning more about that. But yeah. But I just love these shots of Logan slicing up all these Hand members. Now, this shot is very interesting because we see Jean and we see Logan here. They're obviously in Mantrapore at this point in the game, because we know that's going to be a location in the game. Logan's obviously going by his patch persona undercover, as he's got the eye patch and the white suit on, and Jean's wearing that same green dress we saw at the beginning of the trailer. But the way the camera's angle is in this shot is very interesting, because it looks like you're playing as Jean Grey in this moment. From this camera shot, it looks like, because obviously Logan is opening the door for her, but it just looks like we're potentially playing as Jean Grey. I mean, that'd be really cool if we get to play as her in this game. I would be so down for that. Maybe it would just be like a small moment, sort of like the MJ missions, or like when we got the Venom mission, like in Marvel Spider-Man 2, potentially, because we know she's going to be a companion that will fight alongside us in the game. So potentially we may be able to play as her, but I don't want to say we are until obviously get our hands on it, and we'll find out for ourselves. But yeah, the camera angle is interesting here, and we get this shot of Logan and Jean dancing here, so it does seem like they may be a thing, Jean and Logan, in this game, which is interesting, because man, they're doing my boy Cyclops, they're doing my boy Scott dirty, man. Putting him to the side. Nah, I'm sure Cyclops, if they do make an X-Men game, I'm sure they will do something with that. But yeah, man, Scott's getting done dirty, man. So yeah, I've always been a Jean and Scott fan, to be honest, but at the end of the day, I've always preferred Scott and Emma Frost together, so it's a bit of a hard one, to be honest. But yeah, and then yeah, we get some more shots of them here, and this shot here, man, this shot looks so cool. That, like, him in the yellow black suit, ready for battle. Looks like he's just come out of like some rubble or something. But yeah, it looks cool. And we see Lady Deathstrike here. This might be the same fight potentially. Her nails, man, look cool, and she's wielding this katana as well, which is sick. Man, I can't wait for that. Jean Grey looks awesome. Her using her powers, and she obliterates these Reavers. And then you get Omega Red. I completely forgot he was in this game, because we did see him ages ago in like an old trailer. But he's fighting Wolverine here. Sabretooth and Wolverine together, and see Omega Red using his like tentacles basically to fight Logan here. Oh man, this is gonna be so cool. And then we get this classic shot of Logan fighting the hand members, recreating this iconic moment where Logan jumps out of this building with all these hand members attached to him, which is so cool. Man, this shot is straight ripped out of the comics, this shot, man. Ah, man. But yeah, and this shot here is crazy. We see the adamantium skeleton, which is crazy. That looks gnarly as hell. Yeah, that looks cool. See Logan here, looks like he's going berserk again, and interestingly he's got those yellow eyes again, which is interesting. And then yeah, Marvel's Wolverine, that's basically it. And then we get this funny gag at the end basically. But yeah, that is pretty much the breakdown. Now, we did get some more news as well. So, with Marvel's Wolverine, we did get a confirmation that there is a collab that is happening between Marvel's Wolverine and Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. So, we are getting the costume of Wolverine from that game in Marvel's Wolverine, and then we're getting the Wolverine costume in the other game, which is pretty cool. And I can't lie, they released these images of them and they look absolutely cool, to be honest, which is pretty sick. So yeah, I'm quite happy with these. We did get like a little opening move trailer as well for Marvel's Tokon fighting, which is pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, we did get like a little first look at what our first DLC is going to be, and this looks really cool. We got our first DLC character reveal for year 1, so it does seem like it's going to go on for a long time, and I think there's going to be 4 to 5 characters for each year, it looks like, and a new like stage or map that'll be added to that game. But our first character we've got is obviously Phoenix Cyclops. So I was kind of expecting Cyclops to eventually come to the game, but it's the Phoenix version of Cyclops, which is really cool. But yeah, this looks really cool, to be honest. This game is going to be out soon, so I can't wait to play it. And the same with Wolverine coming out in September. Man, these are going to be really cool, these 2 games. But yeah, there is some other Marvel games news that I will cover, like with Marvel Rivals. That has got some news from Comic-Con, but I will make that in a separate video. So stay tuned for that one, guys. But yeah, we've got loads of news happening this week. Obviously got Lantern's trailer and that dropping this week as well. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.